The Valencia Marathon has been a happy hunting ground for Aussie runners in the past. There have been national records and numerous PBs set on the Spanish course. The 2025 edition of the Valencia Marathon will be run in just a few days' time. In this video, I'm going to go through some of the elite Australian runners taking part. Will we see more national records broken? It's possible, because some have suggested they are going after those Australian marathon records. Valencia is one of the fastest marathon courses in the world and throws up lightning quick times every year, and I don't think 2025 will be any different, judging by the elite starting list. The men's field is headlined by Ethiopian Sisay Lema, who comes in with the fastest time of 2 hours 1 minute and 48 seconds. There are another 10 runners with PBs of between 2 hours 4 minutes 35 seconds and 2 hours 5 minutes 53 seconds. In the women's field, Ethiopian Amani Bariso has the quickest PB of 2 hours 14 minutes 58 seconds. There are another 3 who have run sub 220, and then another 13 with times quicker than 2 hours 24 minutes 30 seconds. The Aussie women fit in here, with Jess Stenson the fastest with 2 hours 22 minutes 56 seconds. Let's start by having a look at the Aussie women in the race, because this is a race within itself. Just 12 seconds separating the 3 Australians on their quickest marathons. I've mentioned Jess Stenson, the reigning Commonwealth Games marathon champion and the 3rd fastest Australian of all time. She had that breakthrough for her fastest time at Tokyo this year when she finished 8th overall. But close behind her on fastest times is Izzy Batt-Doyle with a 2:22.59 and Jen Gregson with a 2:23.08. So you can see there is not much between the Aussie women. Izzy Batt-Doyle ran her quickest time at Valencia last year, while Jen Gregson is back for her first marathon since having her second child just 5 months ago, and back where she ran her fastest marathon in 2023. This is going to be fascinating to watch these 3 battle it out in Valencia. Izzy Batt-Doyle is coming off an impressive half marathon win in 68.55 at Melbourne in October, a month after finishing 17th in the 10,000 metres at the World Championships in Tokyo. Her last marathon was in Nagoya, Japan in March, when she ran 2:23.29, a month after setting a new national record in the half marathon of 67.17 in Marugame in Japan. She said after winning the half in Melbourne that she was targeting Sinead Diver's national marathon record of 2 hours 21 minutes 34 seconds at Valencia. Jess Stenson hasn't raced as much as Izzy Batt-Doyle this year, but she has done one more marathon at the Sydney Marathon in 2:28.56 on a hilly course. This was just a month after a 74.16 half marathon at the Gold Coast, which was much slower than her 69.59 she ran to win the Launceston half marathon in June. But Jess loves the big marathons and expect her to produce a strong performance at Valencia. And she did say recently on the Inside Running podcast that she was also targeting the Australian record. Jen Gregson is the unknown of the 3, building back after her second baby. She ran 73.47 at the Melbourne Half Marathon in October, and 2 weeks later clocked 33.56 in the Australian 10K Road Championships at the Burnie 10 in Tasmania. Jen is gunning to be the first Australian to attend 5 Olympic Games in athletics, and while I'm sure she is keen for a good performance, I feel she is using Valencia more of where she's at as she builds towards the LA Games in 2028. Jen will be joined on the starting line by her husband and fellow Olympian Ryan Gregson, who makes up a stellar list of Aussies taking part. No doubt Ryan will be targeting a PB, hoping to go quicker than his 2:13.31 at Melbourne in 2024. He won the Sunshine Coast Marathon this year in 2:14.06, running most of it solo after some pacing help from Brett Robinson, who is also racing in Valencia. Ryan was slightly disappointed with his 64.58 at the Melbourne Half in October, but a fast course and elite field gives him a great chance of a PB in Valencia. Andy Buchanan is listed in the elite field for Valencia, but I haven't been able to confirm if he will be on the start line. His recent video on YouTube suggests he was still planning to run, although that was back in October when it was filmed.
I was about to go live with this video when I noticed this on Andy Buchanan's Instagram page a couple of days ago. There is this comment which does seem to suggest that Andy won't be in Valencia this weekend. A bit of a shame, because obviously he had that breakout at Valencia last year when he set the national record for the marathon, but obviously after that little problem he had earlier a couple of months ago, he's obviously not in shape to race the marathon, which is fair enough. So we'll be looking out to see where Andy pops up next, looking like it'll be 2026 now.
For me, the most interesting Aussie taking part is Haftu Strintzos. and he's made no secret of the fact that he is going after Andy Buchanan's marathon record. Haftu made a stunning debut at the Sydney Marathon in August when he was the leading Australian in 2 hours 11 minutes and 27 seconds. He backed this up with a 62:13 half marathon to win in Melbourne in October. With natural progression in the marathon and on a much kinder course compared to the Sydney Hills, Haftu is definitely on for a sub 2:10. And if things fall the right way, he really could give Andy Buchanan's record a nudge. Brett Robinson, the former national marathon record holder, has had a frustrating few years since his breakout marathon of 2:07:31 at Fukuoka in Japan in 2022. He ran a 61:58 half marathon in Japan earlier in the year, but could only manage a 2:15 at the Sydney Marathon in August. He was far from happy with his 63:57 half marathon in Melbourne in October, but at his best, Brett is capable of running fast at Valencia. And don't discard Tom Canto from having a breakout run in Spain. Tom was the second Aussie home in the Sydney Marathon, finishing in 16th place overall. And from all reports, he is going to attack Valencia, planning to sit with the sub 2:10 paces. Tom was so strong at the back end of Sydney that he has to be a strong chance to run that time on a more forgiving course at Valencia. These are just some of the Aussies taking part in Valencia, and there are so many little subplots within the race. Can Haftu take down national record? Will Brett Robinson bounce back to his best? And then in the women, Izzy Batt-Doyle wants that Aussie record. So too does Jess Stenson. But can she bounce back after her Sydney Marathon? And what about Gregson? How is her fitness just 5 months after having a baby? It's going to be one hell of a race between the Aussies. My thoughts, Haftu to be the first Aussie and to give that Aussie record a nudge. And I think Izzy Batt-Doyle will lead the Aussie women home in a new national record. I'm really looking forward to this one. Thanks for watching this video. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.